Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Boston. Is Boston here? Yes. Is Gloucester here? Yes. Is Worcester here? Yes. Oh my gosh, Boston, come on. What is going on? Well, welcome to this region. Is Bridgeport here? Who else am I missing? New Hampshire? Who else is in our district? Maine? Maine? Rhode Island? Okay. Well, I guess Worcester won for today. But welcome to our regional Sunday service. We have our district pastor, Mika Deshotel here, who's going to give our message today. And we also have some presentations of awards of some sort, so you'll find out more about that as the service proceeds. But let's invite God into our building today with a few songs.
All right, good morning, everyone. If you could please rise, we have today some very special people on stage joining us from Worcester. Let's give it up for them. Worcester. Woo-hoo. And also from Bridgeport, you know, got to represent. Oh, yes. All right, give us a second here. We'll set up. All good to go? All right, we're going to sing Song of the Heavenly Soldiers for our first song.
Beautiful morning sunrise, come above the land of our home. Robed in white, chosen people, fighting for the land of God. Towering high the snow-white mountains, stands the Lord in majesty, ruling with power over the world, shining on the universe. Marching on, heavenly soldiers, marching on with His love, unite in life eternal with our God in heaven and earth. Heavenly soldiers fighting strongly toward the victory, bringing lost souls to harvest from the fallen world of fear. Freely giving love and beauty to them from our parents' heart, spreading the word over the world, rescuing the family of God. Marching on, heavenly soldiers, marching on with His love, unite in life eternal with our God in heaven and earth. Sanctified, brave crusaders, joining our true parents' fight, lifting high the rod of iron, smashing evils of the world. Now restoring Eden's glory on the earth eternally, praising our God, Heavenly Father, giving joy to comfort His heart. Marching on, heavenly soldiers, marching on with His love, unite in life eternal with our God in heaven and earth.
Woo! Thank you, everyone. So you guys can stay standing. We're going to sing our next song, which is Day of Hope.
In the middle of the night, the sands on earth are turning to the one and only light. shone bright and clear. Though we were unsure he was living, the Lord was very near. Into the world he's coming to wipe away our tears. And when in our hearts hope is living, what shall we do with our fears? The day of hope, the day of true family, day of joy, day of delight, the day of hope, the day of true family, day of joy, day of delight.
First verse. Yeah.
Hope is dawning in the middle of the night. The sons of earth are turning to the one and only light. Out of the east it's coming, burning, beaming bright. And all the children come running. Lord, what a wonderful sight. The day of hope, the day of true family, day of joy, day of delight, the day of hope, the day of true family, day of joy, day of delight. All right.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Parent, good morning. This is such a hopeful time with the news of Sao Tome. The government even welcoming Chumother is truly amazing and hopeful news. It really inspires me, Heavenly Parent, and inspires America, I think, to also welcome Chumother. It's such a day of hope, such a year of hope, and I feel that you're with us. And I pray that you can continue to be with us as we go through this week, and pray that we can be nourished through this Sunday service. And I offer this prayer and report in my name and all the Blessed Central family names here. Adieu. So you all may be seated. Exit.
Oh, exit.
So all of you may know of Camp Aurora, right? All of you know what Camp Aurora is? It's really had a tremendous impact on a lot of people, and it's done such good for young unificationists, myself included. And a number of things came out of Camp Aurora, and for more on this, let's welcome Aunt Heather.
Hey. So, good morning, brothers and sisters. Recently, I had the privilege of meeting with Reverend Dunkley, and myself and some others got the chance to just share with him and report about Camp Aurora and all the activities, and he was so inspired. And I was very moved that later on he sent a letter to me, and I just wanted to share this to you, with you, because you're part of the community that made Camp Aurora happen, and I feel this letter also belongs to you. So Reverend Dunkley said, whenever I ask young unificationists what was the most impressionable moments in their lives, when they felt pride as part of a unification community, summer camps always seem to make it to the top of the list. These opportunities we give our children every summer and and during the breaks often form the widest foundation of their faith for the rest of their lives. That's why I'm so grateful to Camp Aurora, which has just celebrated its 26th year in giving our children an opportunity to experience God in community with others. True Mother is continually emphasizing the importance of support and education for our youth. So I think we should all do what we can to support Camp Aurora. Big thanks to Tamami Okeno, Virginia Orman, and all of the staff that helped make Camp Aurora happen. He said, God bless you and thank you so much for this important investment into the hearts of our kids and into our future. We're all looking forward to next year's Camp Aurora. Adieu. So, many times, lots of things are happening all at once, and we forget to notice or acknowledge the incredible work that people do. And I can certainly say Tamami Okeno and Virginia Orman and the leadership team invested so much in camp. And we just want to pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and just be present and grateful for all our young people do for us, because they're investing in your kids. And I know they do that at the sacrifice of their own time and sometimes money too. So I'd like to invite up our youth ministry team for Worcester and Boston, and invite up the pastors who sponsor those ministry teams so that we can just acknowledge our young leaders, which include Letitia. Letitia, where's Letitia? Which include Naomi. Is Naomi here? Naomi? Yes. Which include Erica. Which include Taka. Come on, Taka. And I don't know, is Amanda here this morning?
No.
No, okay. I want to especially thank Amanda also, because she invested in youth ministry throughout the whole school year last year. And we also want to acknowledge the incredible and great work that she did to contribute to this team. So we have some little gifts for you. So, Catherine, would you like to share something?
Yes.
And then we will give out.
Before I begin the presentation, I want to say that I think we don't have a special lady card yet to give Aunt Heather, but it will come. But you know, Camp Aurora starts in January.
Yeah.
They start a weekly call every Sunday night. So for basically 6 months, Camp Aurora is planned and discussed, and the theme, and a lot of investment. And Aunt Heather's done an amazing job of allowing the young people to take the leadership role and to be there when she's needed, and to step back and let them go forward, which is a real skill. And also, because of Camp Aurora last year, these young people that we see here now, they were all counselors last year, 2018. And after Camp Aurora, they got together and they decided that they wanted to take responsibility together for youth ministry. You guys are supposed to clap right now. That they wanted, but they didn't want any one of them to be identified as a leader. So I had to like fight off headquarters all the time when they would say, well, who's your young adult ministry leader? And I go, we don't have one. Well, we have a team. Well, can you give me a name? I want to put it in the, nope, not going to give it to you, because they're a team and they work together and they really support each other. And I think it's also, besides what they do for our high school and middle school students, they really, I think, have forged friendships with each other, you know, because they're working for a higher purpose. And then when they go out and just hang out together, they can feel so happy because they've actually given something. So it's really beautiful to see them inheriting that kind of public life tradition, but in their own way. So, can we get a drum
roll?
Where? Eric, come up quick. And also, the first presentation that I'd like to give is to someone that also, I mean, I don't need to tell you how amazing this person is, not only in youth ministry, but behind the scenes in so many things in the Boston church. So would you join together in giving a great thank you, drum roll please, to Takakudo! Also, I think she's not here right now, but let's give it up for Amanda Jones.
Give it up to Letitia. And from Worcester.
There's so much I can say about Letitia. Actually, she's like a model to our kids, and she does so many things. Yeah, but she's very humble, and without her, our kids will not be having a model as a, in the church. model is very important for our church. And even outside people, they need heroes, right? They need model, and she's one of those.
Yes.
Leticia Ferrabole!
Okay, and then we'd also like to thank two more people, and these are people on the weekly call getting ready for Camp Aurora. They would have homework to do, they would be having to go to their jobs, they had so much on their plates, and yet they'd faithfully show up, invest so much. We're so excited to celebrate Naomi! The last, not least, is Erica. We want to celebrate her because not only does she contribute to youth ministry, but she has big roles and responsibilities in service groups on campus, and she is a model of living for the sake of others.
I would just ask to take a moment if everyone on the stage could just go in front of the screen, and because what would an award ceremony in our church be without a picture? So we have to go down and take the picture. So everybody, this way. Let's face the lady forward.
Yeah. These all have plaques. Yes. Drinkable plaques. What lady are you talking about?
Oh wait, just a moment. Here, here's his copy. Okay, great. Thank you.
And then we just have one more celebration. I'd like to invite up Luke John to the stage. Guess what this is? This is the most valuable award you could ever possibly hope to receive. This is the Living for the Sake of Others Cup. We give it out at Camp Aurora to a camper. And this camper, it's not like they were like being incredibly sacrificial because they were told to go and put the chairs away and they did it. We just wait all week looking like who's just naturally giving from their heart? Who's just like there picking up the songbooks when no one else is around and left and they didn't run off to the beach with them? Someone that has that consciousness, because this is our culture. No matter where you go in life, you take this culture with you. And this year, we wanted to award it to Luke Jean. And the reason that we chose Luke Jean is because before camp even started, he called me up one evening and he said, Aunt Heather, I'd like to give a testimony or a presentation at camp. Do you think that would be all right? Yes. Okay. So I go, tell me what your testimony is about. And he shared about that. And I go, absolutely, this is such a great message, Luke. Yes. And we got to camp, and then he realized how many people were at camp, 130 people. Can you imagine? Without a lot of experience, he had the courage to get up and not just give a lecture. He gave a personal testimony that exemplified some profound points within the divine principle. To give a testimony in front of 130 people, you have to be vulnerable, because you're talking about your own life, right? And he decided to do that, and then he was a little bit nervous, and he said, oh, I don't know. And I said, well, you don't have to do it. And he said, no, I made a prayer condition about this. I promise God I'm going to do it. And he got up, and he gave this incredible morning service. And we wanted to give him the Living for the Sake of Others cup because he really kind of went beyond himself. And whenever we go beyond ourselves, that's where we meet God, and that's where we serve people. And I'm just so grateful that you could serve the hearts of so many young campers, and you're such an awesome role model. So, presenting you today, Living for the Sake of Others cup.
All right, give it up for them, guys. Okay,
awkward, like, introduce, because, like, I knew what was going on. But, like, I have to act like I'm not clued in with everything that's going on. But thank you, Aunt Heather, thank you. And now for our final song before our message, let's invite up the band. This is an amazing band.
Okay. All right, so I need everyone to stand back up because we're going to get ready for our sermon. We got to really channel that energy into this song. This is Ain't Gonna Let Nobody. Sing along if you know it. All right. Feel free to clap along.
Ain't gonna let nobody
Turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on singing, keep on praying. Gonna build a brand new world. Ain't gonna let that devil Satan turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let the devil Satan turn me around. Keep on singing, keep on praying. Gonna build a brand new world. Ain't gonna let my fallen nature turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let my fallen nature turn me around. Keep on singing, keep on praying. Gonna get a brand new world. Ain't gonna let no negativity turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no negativity turn me around. Keep on singing, keep on praying. Gonna build a brand new world. Ain't gonna let no persecution turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let no persecution turn me around. Keep on singing, keep on praying. Gonna build a brand new world.
ain't gonna let nobody
Turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on singing, keep on praying. Gonna build a brand new world.
You may be seated. Let's give our band one more round of applause. You know, true mother was not turned around by anything, and she never is. Amen? In Sao Tome and Principe, which is a small African country, she was welcomed not just by a government official, she was welcomed by the president himself. Isn't that amazing? Is it a day of hope? Is it a year of hope? It is a hopeful time. It really is. If you watch, especially if you watch the weekly updates, you can see it happening all around the world. There was a 40,000 couple blessing in Tanzania. 40,000 people. And they're planning to hold another 40,000 couple blessing. Things are really shifting. And True Mother, with all this going on, wants to offer it all up to our True Father, who's in heaven right now. She wants to offer it up to True Father. And the title of the message today is Our Offering. And offerings are through many ways, through tithing, through the National Victory Fund that's going on, through prayers, through anything. But most importantly, our True Mother wants to offer it to True Father and to God. She wants to offer victory to God and True Father. So let's welcome up Mika Deshotel, who's going to speak about this topic.
All right. Not used to it. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, New England. It's so good to see you. The last time I was here was in March, and so it's been a little while. It's gotten a little warmer, a little sunnier, and the leaves are changing, and this is a good time to be here. And I hope to be here more often. So I just want to recognize the band, the amazing band this morning. Let's give them a round of applause. Also, I want to recognize our youth and young adult, leaders, those that have been, supporting Camp Aurora and then have, brought that back to support our local communities. So let's give it up for all those young people. And let's give a special round of applause to Luke. He is, truly an example of living for the sake of others' culture. And I think we could just have him up here. He could just give my sermon for me this morning. He pretty much has it down. Let's give Luke a round of applause. Thank you, Luke. So, this morning I wanted to share with you about our offering. And this special time period of these next 120 days as we get ready to welcome our true mother back to America. So yesterday should we cooking? Okay, yesterday we had a New England leaders gathering. We met here all day in the Boston church. Thank you to Aunt Catherine and Yoko Miranda and the team who really came together to create a beautiful environment for us to meet in. This was the first time that we could gather together since I became district pastor, and also it had been too long since we had really connected. So we had every community represented, and I'm just so grateful. And a lot of the content that we talked about yesterday, I'll be sharing today as well. So first of all, who am I? I'm a child of God. I am God's daughter. I remember growing up, I went to Camp Sunrise, and then later in my high school years, I went to Camp Aurora. But we had one middle school workshop at Camp Sunrise where that was just the main idea. Was really ingrained in my mind, and then over the years ingrained in my heart. I am God's daughter, and it's so important that we keep that clear identity within ourselves and continue to explore that. I am also the product of my parents' love, who loved each other exceedingly in order for me to be here. Many of you know my parents, Don and Diane Kuwahara. My father's in Japan. He's meeting with my grandmother. Two of my siblings are in Japan as well. My mom went over to Florida to spend some time with her sisters. And Katz is here in Boston. He's working today. So unfortunately, I don't have my immediate family too close to me, but I'm so grateful that my husband's here. His name is Pastor Abe, and he was playing the piano, so if you didn't get a chance to meet him last time we came, you can. So who am I? I am also the fruit of the historical providence. I'm the hope of everything that my ancestors worked so hard for. Why they shed their blood, sweat, and tears, so that I could be living at this time of the Second Advent. So there's a picture, many of you know, right? There's an opening into Boston Commons right near our church center, right? And it has this picture, and it says Boston founded 1630. This is a picture of my second son and my niece, Ina. This was when we visited in March. And yeah, my family would always stop right in front of that little monument and just acknowledge, that our ancestors came over in 1633. They came from England and helped to establish Nantucket. I know Aunt Catherine's ancestors were there, and maybe some of your ancestors came at that time too. And then a little bit more about me. Here's my husband and I, we went to Hawaii in the summer. This is a picture of us at Lanikai, beautiful Lanikai Beach on the last evening of our stay. Yeah, this was an amazing opportunity. My husband has a really special place in his heart for Hawaii. He plays the ukulele, that's his main instrument. He also has a podcast specifically about ukuleles. So to come to the birthplace of the ukulele I definitely got my fill of, visiting lots of different factories and hearing the stories. I mean, I could say I know a lot now about ukuleles. And so the culmination of our trip was that we attended this big ukulele festival at Kapiolani Park, and then there was one couple that we had been getting to know, and we were able to bless them. So that was a beautiful experience to share that together as a couple. And these are our kids. We have 4 kids. Our eldest son on the right-hand side, his name is Eddie, he's 8. And then Peter's in the middle, he's 6. Johanna is our only daughter, she's 4. And All-Yil, it's a Gaelic name, he's 2.5. So we have the 3 in school and then our baby at home, and we take turns watching him with Grandpa. So yeah, we've been so blessed. My husband and I have been serving as a local pastor in Connecticut for about 4 years. And then I was recently asked to take on this position as district pastor. So that's a little bit about me. What about you? Are you a child of God? Yes. Are you American? Yes, right? We know that recently Reverend Dunkley's been making this point very clear. He said, I don't care if your ancestors touched foot on this land 400 years ago, or whether you just showed up 40 minutes ago. I don't care what your papers say or what they maybe don't say or don't prove about, your citizenship or anything like that. The fact that you are here in this moment in time in the Providence means that you are an American, right? We are here in this great country so prepared by God, and we were created for such a time as this in God's providence. Let us make no question about that. So when I think about, when I look at this image, it's not just about our ancestors. Actually, each and every one of us are on that boat. And we are embarking on new land, a restored nation of America. We are a team, and we're meant to work together. So, where are we? My clicker is having a tough time. I think it's supposed to be pointed towards the computer. Oh, maybe. Okay, where are we in terms of the Providence? Big question. Okay, maybe Taka, you can help me. Next. All right, so this is a slide from Dr. Yoon. He's a secretariat, Mother Secretariat. He had this 300 slide presentation of the master plan that was shared with us during the Chunaguk Leaders meeting this past August. Koichi Nakai, our media director, he took this slide and he was trying to make a point at our leaders meeting. So next, he highlighted, next slide. He highlighted, where are we? Okay, so Father passed in 2012. Next slide. Where are we? Next. We're here. We are here right before 2020. Okay, click again. We're not there. Okay, we're not back there. One more time. We're here. Okay? All right, so is that clear? Yes. Yeah, so it's really important for us to, get on the same page. Where are we in God's providence, right? We're right at the helm of 2020. We are ending a special 400-year providence in America, and I'm going to share about that. So we just completed the 7th anniversary of our two fathers' Sanghwa, and Mother's efforts to help us see and experience Chunaguk through music and the arts has been getting better and better. So we were there for the the performance and the special events in the arena of the Chungcheon World Peace Center. And I can tell you that actually watching through the broadcast, you really do get a front row seat, to be able to see and capture what our true mother is doing. And she's like a director. She really pays attention to what are the words being shared and what is the heart that's being conveyed in those performances. So this time, I think the biggest highlight for all of us was to hear the beautiful letter that True Mother wrote to our True Father this time. And in her letter, she highlights her absolute commitment to fulfilling God's providence in her lifetime, like what Luke mentioned, right? Okay, you can click next. Her gifts of giving 7 restored nations, and that all of our blessed families be registered in the Chumbo one. These are her gifts that she's offering to our true Father and to our Heavenly Parent. And ever since our Father's passing, our true Mother has been very clear on this point, and her commitment and resolve has become deeper and deeper, right? We see our Mother growing stronger. And this goal has been unwavering and steadfast. So we're in the dawn of a new age, brothers and sisters. And True Mother recently explained that this is the end. This is, their time in America concluded a 40-year providence. She said this while in Las Vegas earlier this year. Let's click next. In America, true parents worked hard for the world for 40 years. We invested everything. We invested and continued investing everything. 40 years have now passed, and you're all grown up. Is it acceptable for children to continue to receive the help of their parents? I'm speaking of national restoration. Politicians, entrepreneurs, academics, we need to bless everyone and create blessed families. That is the way by which this nation, in the position it's in, can fulfill its responsibilities as well. Next. ACLC should invest all its forces toward the day they can return to God His whole Christian foundation. That day will be the day this country becomes a restored nation. Do you understand? We must return to heaven what heaven expects. Next. All right, so here's this 400-year timeline. We can see that from the time that our first pilgrims landed in Plymouth Rock until 2020, it's been 400 years. And these last 7 years has been an effort to bring God's work in this nation to a glorious conclusion. To be able to now go forward as a restored nation that actually is contributing toward the restoration of this world. Next. So let's look at America's role. So go back. This picture is a famous picture. We were quizzed by Dr. Kim. Is this a picture of true parents arriving or leaving?
Leaving.
So this is actually a picture of true parents leaving from Gimpo Airport to go to America. That's a famous picture. Reverend Bonfo, 10 points. All right, next. So originally in 1950 in Korea, Father asked Reverend Yo Han Lee to go to certain Christian leaders at the time who were connected to the United Methodist Church movement in Korea and tell them that the Messiah is here. The failure of Christianity to respond led to the establishment of the Holy Spirit Association for the Unification of World Christianity, right? Our movement as we know it began because at that time Christianity was not able to unite with our true Father. And then true parents went directly to America to reach the American clergy and to influence Christianity worldwide. So Father explains why he came to this nation. First of all, to save this nation which was prepared by God. Because America is the outcome of 2,000 years of Christian history. To reawaken the people, especially Christian leaders, with true parents' teachings, and to bring the foundation of America to Korea for the sake of the reunification of North and South Korean reunification. So the providence in America is directly linked with the world providence and directly linked with the reunification of North and South Korea, right? We know that the line between North and South Korea is really the final place where, you know, the Abel type world and Cain type world have, you know, been coming to a standstill. It's really to bring reunification in North and South Korea can really open the door to world peace, right? This is what we believe. Next. So from the Cheonseongyang, the United States mission is to bring harmony and unity among Christianity as soon as possible. That's why ACLC was established. And this is something that's unique to America. You know, at this Cheonseok Leaders meeting, you hear all of the amazing work that all of these different nations are doing, right, as we prepare for 2020. But America is the only one that can talk about this amazing foundation of our work with Christian pastors. At the time of Father's incarceration in Danbury, this was a pivotal moment for Christian leaders in America to stand up. We know that America's role is to recognize, proclaim, and protect true parents. So the work of our ACLC clergy is central to America's role in the providence and also to true parents' work in restoring this world. So, you know, I think, you know, in a lot of ways, we've kind of seen ACLC as a side project. And sometimes, you know, it can become solely the one project of the one member who's inspired to do that, right? But really, you know, we have to start changing our mindset. Recognize that actually ACLC is, you know, is our central focus right now. And that what we see today, you know, in our churches is something that needs to develop and move forward. We need to work together with our Christian brothers and sisters, create, you know, something new. All right, next. So America is standing up. Next. So first we had the Madison Square Garden rally, right? This was a rally that Mother initiated. And at the rally we had 70% our members, unificationists, 30% our Christian brothers and sisters of other faiths. Next. And then we had the Nassau rally, right? And this was a first-time effort that from our leadership, we wanted to be able to make this offering. We were putting together this rally in recognizing the significance of having the American people and specifically Christianity welcome our true parents, have an interface, a direct experience with our true parents. So at the Nassau rally, it was flipped, right? We had 70% were our Christian brothers and sisters of faith, and 30% were our members. Next. And then we saw Bishop Noel Jones, you know, this big megachurch leader. He's catching the fire, and he's hosting this incredible rally in his church, right? Welcoming God's only begotten daughter. And then they received the Family Federation flag, right? Next. And then actually, through our work with Bishop Jones, we could connect to the top clergy in Las Vegas, many of whom were not working together at all. You know, that was their biggest thing, was they had lots of different churches, but they weren't working together. And we had very little foundation in Las Vegas, you know. It's a situation where we had like the one person who really invested, you know, so many years, decades of years visiting these churches, but, you know, very little foundation that way, and yet we were able to bring 10,000 together in Las Vegas. So Mother said the spiritual fire is moving across America. Next. So we were planning for Chicago for October 19th. Next. And then Washington, D.C., November 16th. But still, even though, you know, we were getting excited, actually, honestly, after Nassau, my understanding was that we'd hold one rally every year. That was sort of like what our timeline was. And then here we are, we've blown through 3 more rallies almost. And so, I feel like we're moving pretty quickly. We're doing a lot, right? But actually, Mother called Dr. Kim at the beginning of July and said, why are you going so slowly? Next slide, please. I want to hold a rally in New York, right? With 30,000 clergy. And of course, Dr. Kim, said, absolutely, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So, next. So this is where we're going to have it. The Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. So you still hear a lot of New York, right? Of course, we'll be welcoming Mother in New York, East Garden. I'm sure she'll stay there. But actually, Newark is the place where we'll be having this event. And sometimes, we joke a little bit, well, international leaders are not so inspired to come to New Jersey. They want to come to New York. But what's the difference? Newark, New York, New York, Newark. Even there's like a Newark Penn Station and a New York Penn Station. They have to spell out Newark, Newark Penn Station. So it's very confusing. But Reverend Dunkley said, this is New Jersey and New York coming together, Of course, I'm from Connecticut, so I was like, well, what about the tri-state and the Trinity? But actually, what about New England? What about New England showing up, right? Yeah, don't you think we should show up? We should show up, and we should help bring, a substantial amount, blow everybody away for this 30,000 rally. Yeah, next. All right. Actually, let's go back. So December 28th, I think, of course, we've responded to the call immediately. Yes, we will gather these 30,000 clergy, but I don't think that we really understood, and I'm not sure if we even really fully understand the magnitude of what our True Mother is planning to do at that time. So she revealed that she wants to launch the World Clergy Leadership Conference, WCLC. So remember, ACLC, our foundation with Christian clergy, is so unique to America. And so America is the place that is being asked to make this world proclamation and to launch World Clergy Leadership Conference. And actually, before that, Mother wants to go to Korea and launch KCLC, the Korean Clergy Leadership Conference. We know that, Korea is such a providential nation and could adopt Christianity so quickly. And those, Korean clergy are some of the most, faithful and strongest clergy. And even back in 2017, Mother asked that we go and reach out to the Christian clergy at that time. But we didn't quite get it together, and now is our chance, So we have 30 of our ACLC leaders going over to Korea November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd to help launch Korean Clergy Leadership Conference. And then Mother will make this world proclamation here, right? This is the last stop on Mother's world tour, right? She's visiting 14 different nations, and she wants to conclude everything in America and make this world proclamation and really start a new era as we look towards global restoration, right? So this is a big deal. It's a big deal.
Amen.
All right, next. So America's standing up and Mother's running, okay? I would say that, we're giving Mother some energy, don't you think so? Yeah, and I think, Dr. Yoon mentioned, Mother, when she comes to America, she can be really tough on the American leadership. She's very clear, but at the same time, while in Korea, she's always talking about how proud she is of America, Yeah. So Mother's running. Next, she's visiting 14 different nations, and I just want to give you a snippet of some of those. Next. So we know that Mother went to Sao Tome and Principe, right? Luke is so inspired about that, and it's so inspiring. Dr. Kim mentioned, that in these African countries that Mother's visiting, they really don't know any information. They get the invitation, but they don't know any logistics. They don't know really anything, the plan, and of course, Mother's security is they want to make sure they're clear, but only once the plane touches the ground in the nation is Mother really clear. So Dr. Kim was kind of asking, Mother, are you sure you want to go here? Like, we don't have any foundation here, you don't even know what's going to be awaiting you there. And Mother said, even if one person is calling for me, if one person is ready to receive me, that's where I will go. And Dr. Kim said, I don't know if he was joking or not, but he said that Mother said, well, if you don't really, if you can't really unite with that, you just stay home. I'm going to go to Sao Tome, and you just stay here. So anyway, I'm not sure if that's true, but yeah. He came back, Dr. Kim came back from celebrating the Chuseok and the Chuseok celebration. It was a combined celebration, really, and inheriting that victory from Sao Tome. Next, we know that as soon as Mother landed, she was welcomed to the presidential palace. Next, I love these shots, just like, the way that Mother and the president are really loving on each other. There's another one where Mother is awarding him, and it's beautiful. Next, this is where actually the president is giving Mother a national treasure. He said, Mother, this is one of our national treasures. And he said, Mother, you have come and given us new life. The woman in the picture is you. And if you notice, there's a baby on the woman's back. And that baby, these are our people. You're carrying us, and she's washing clothes. You're washing our clothes. This is the love of the people of Sao Tome for our true Mother, which is so moving. Next. And there was a gathering of, a couple hundred young people. These are all young first gen, right? So excited to see our true Mother. Next. And then there was a blessing, and all of the head delegates in the nation, including our standing presidential couple, was blessed, which is a huge deal. It's the first time that that's ever happened, right? This is an example of a restored nation. At the monthly meeting, Mike McDevitt, he's the head of security, right, from the American side. He said that, Sao Tome is lacking a lot in infrastructure. So this is like their biggest space, right? This is, their biggest assembly space, but they didn't really have the facilities for proper cooling of the room. So they had to bring in some of their own, AC and that sort of thing. And these couples were waiting there for 4 hours, and it really wasn't that, comfortable of an environment, especially from an American standard, right? But the heart of the African people is, they were so happy, they waited there because they really wanted that blessing, They knew that this was something that was going to be enriching for them. So Mother, when she went to Senegal, she gave the people a rescue boat. I think the people of Gore Island, something like that, like an ambulance rescue boat, because they didn't have that, the infrastructure for proper care and hospitalization if somebody needs that kind of care. And then this time when Mother was in Sao Tome, she presented the people with a fire engine, which they don't have. They don't have, they don't have the infrastructure to take care of, when their homes or something catch fire. So that's what she presented to the people, as a special, HJ fire truck. Anyway. All right, next. So just to give you an idea, at the end of September, there'll be a 40,000 rally in Korea next. And then Mother will be heading to Japan the beginning of October in Nagoya. Next. Then Albania. Next. Then the launching of KCLC, right, where 30 of our ACLC clergy will be supporting that effort. Next. And then we'll be celebrating the publication of True Mother's autobiography entitled Mother of Peace. So this is a big deal. We heard from Sanjanim at the Yayam Summit. She shared with our youth. She said that I was witnessed to by Father through his autobiography. She said, I didn't know my father until that time, until I read his autobiography. But that's how I became a member, she says proudly. This is how I became a member of our movement. And so, I think that having True Mother's autobiography is going to definitely impact the world, in a big way. We can come to understand and have a deeper heart with our True Mother. Next. Then Mother will be going to Cambodia. There's going to be a leaders conference next, and then a big blessing, 50,000 person blessing next. And then she's going to Taiwan next. And then Palau. Actually, Palau, there's an updated schedule, will be after South Africa in December. Next. Yeah, so True Mother is going to South Africa again. So we saw Prophet Hadabe, right? The story is that he paid for the whole, Coliseum, the whole stadium for that 100,000 person blessing. And he said he would hold another blessing, and he's committed to 200,000. So it's amazing, these figures, and it's because they had that direct experience with Mother, Prophet Radabe and Ida Hosa and the president of Sao Tome, they came and they participated in True Parents' birthday celebration. They saw Mother speak and were so moved, by this woman of God. And now they're bringing people together to have the same kind of experience with our True Parents. Next. And then finally, Mother's concluding this international tour in America. So when I think about Mother traveling so much, I think about what she said in her own words to Father in her letter. East to west, south to north, I ran with all my might, seeking to embrace the world. My mouth was sore, my legs were swollen, I could barely stand, yet I could not rest. All right, next. So what is our offering? What is our offering? Next. So we represent the Elder Son Nation, right? And in representing the Elder Son Nation, it means that we've received the most love from our True Parents. True Parents lived here, for a substantial amount of time. She invested in the American members. We've received so much love. And, we want to be able to support our True Mother in these gifts, in this commitment that she's making to our True Father and Heavenly Parent. And we want to do that by offering all of the fruits of our American blessed families. Okay. So Mother is preparing this offering table. Next, I think, yeah. She wants to honor our True Father. She wants to honor his legacy. 2020 is special because it's the 100th birthday of our True Father, right? He couldn't be received on the National Foundation upon his passing, but Mother really wants to fix that. She says, my resolve to absolutely restore 7 nations by 2020, my resolve to register all blessed families in Chambawan as Heavenly Tribal Messiahs, these are my gifts to you, Father. I pray that your gift, your life of Hyojang for Heavenly Parent will radiate rays of hope throughout the world. Right? This is what our True Mother wants to do. She wants to establish, the legacy that our True Father, created through his life of Hyojang that can be reverberated to the rest of the world. So our true mother gave us the strategy. She told us, if we center on true parents, we fulfill our heavenly tribal messiahship, we embrace Christianity, we can restore the nation, right? So based on that, our national leadership created this national offering table goals, okay, which our local leadership is aware of, and something that provides the opportunity for us to be able to give our fruits for this national offering. Do you want your fruits to be a part of the offering? Amen. Yes. Okay. So in order to do that, in order to make our offering, it takes two things. Next. Okay, leadership, right? What is the purpose of our leaders? What is the role of our central figures? Our central figures stand in the position to help us to make our offering. Through our central figures, the pathway to receiving God's blessing is opened. And it's in the relationship of unity that we create something new, something real, something substantial. That's why we call it the foundation of substance, right? It's the relationship that brings the substantial victory. So at our leaders meeting, which we had in late August, and then which we shared about yesterday, our offering has been made clear. Next. 3 points. Next. Daily Hundoke and Heavenly Tribal Messiahship. Next. Being able to contribute and be able to fulfill the National Victory Fund of raising $7 million. Next. Welcoming the Mother of Peace on December 28th with 30,000 clergy. Next. The second point, the second piece, is each and every one of us, our blessed families. So what is our role as a participant in God's providence at this time? Our goals are the same. Next. Hundoke and Heavenly Tribal Messiahship. Completing and being able to offer the National Victory Fund and being able to welcome the Mother of Peace. All right. Next. So we wrap it up in a bow and give it lovingly to our true mother, right? And on top of that is being able to bring our top leaders to the World Summit for Foundation Day 2020. Of course, this is something that, UPF is keenly working on. Dr. Jenkins is really the best leader for that role at this time. And it's amazing. Like when Dr. Yoon was in Korea, he's like, okay guys, no pictures, but this is who we're inviting to the summit, right? And it's like all these top presidents and leaders, and everybody's taking out their phones, right? And he's like, what? Anyway, these are the people that we want to be praying for, right? Our current president, our former presidents. We want to be able to truly honor our true father by bringing national restoration. We want to be able to have our true parents be recognized, from the national level and then from the world level, right? Okay. Our true mother's earnest desire is to dissolve all indemnity in our lifetime, that no sons and daughters are left behind, right? So now is the time. Each of you are here for a reason, right? You have heard it. You know it. What's our responsibility, This is the time where we need to start reaching out to others, right? Supporting our other brothers and sisters. How can we make our unique contribution, That's the beauty of creativity, within the vertical line, right? It's like when we are clear on what we have to do, then we can really use the best of our abilities to be able to make something beautiful, right? Something unique, something that really represents who we are, that we can give from our hearts. Actually, Aunt Catherine had a beautiful story that she shared with us one time when Jung Jin was living in this building. We had a holy day, and Aunt Catherine knew that Jung Jin really loves fresh homemade bread. So she asked one of the couples who had just purchased a bread machine to, make some bread for our offering table, right? Bread for our offering table? But, this was the heart behind it, and actually everybody could feel so much love, right? Yeah, we make our offering with the sincere heart of Hyojung. So that's what it's really about. All right, next. So we are given these 120 days. We have a little less now than 100 days to be able to contribute towards these goals. Next. So what are our resources to achieving victory? Next. How do we do it? How can we support these goals and truly welcome our true mother? Right? So when we talk about Hunnoke and Heavenly Tribe Messiahship, we're so blessed. We have so many resources to help us to be able to do that. Godable is one of those things. How many of you guys have signed up for Godable? Yeah, it's so easy to get your Hunnoke done, right? I wake up in the morning, and what I do is I download it on my phone. Then I can go anywhere, right? And usually when I'm driving, I'll just turn it on and listen to it. And the thing that's so interesting is I've read through, especially the first two. I'm working on the third one. So I've read through the content, but to be able to hear it, it's a little bit different. Somehow it's like to hear it again, there are points that stick out to me that are new. And I find myself putting it on repeat, throughout the day. And I also, if we're going out, like as a family, then sometimes I'll turn it, if it's not too long, I'll turn it on, and my kids, at first my kids would be like, can you play kid songs, right? But it's very interesting because they catch so much from the reading. It's improving their vocabulary, and also they come up with such great questions. They really want to know about true mother and true father. For some reason, they often ask, "Why did true father die?" I don't know why. That's a big question, but somehow that's. So we have Godable, and we have TribeNet. Right? Actually, we have our district coordinators for Heavenly Tribal Messiahship. They can help you to get plugged in, right? And on a local level, we're looking for a local coordinator in every community, It doesn't mean that you have to be an accomplisher. It means that you have the heart to want to do it, and you recognize that we need to do it together, How can we think that, we're trying to build a tribe, and yet we're just going to do it, me, myself, and I, I'm just going to do it on my own. That doesn't really make sense, right? From the beginning, we have to work together to do it. It's about loving people and taking care of people, right? So we have the TribeNet call every week, 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. This is our chance to tap into our leadership, to hear, the current, news in the Providence. It's really exciting, actually. Even if you're not really ready to do your Heavenly Tribe Messiahship, just being on the call is so inspiring. It's nice to be up to date that way. And we also have resources now about caring for our tribe. There are different ways that we can not only plug the people that we're meeting into different activities we're doing on a local level, but even creating, little groups where we can take care of our tribes through the home group system, right? This is something that some of us are pioneering, in Bridgeport, in Worcester. So it's available for us. How blessed we are to have these resources, right? Next, and we also have Chumbo, HJ Chumbo. This is our providence to be able to liberate and bless our ancestors. We know that, we are not causal beings, right? I'm the result of this love and intention of my parents. They were blessed by true parents, right? True parents had this, incredible vision for the world. It's like, I'm not here just for my own sake. And the more and more that I get into it, the more I realize, gosh, my own ancestors, they waited, they wanted to be a part of this time. We have a diary of one of our ancestors. Her name was Hannah. And she writes, about when she was in her 20s. She's looking for God, she wants so much to contribute. It's like I think about her sometimes, and then Abe and I just finished watching this Korean drama. right? It's called Mr. Sunshine. It's was sponsored by Netflix or something, and it's great. It's like over 20 hours, of course, but it's one of those docudramas, right? And so it takes place, from right at the beginning of the 1900s when Japan occupies Korea, and then it actually ends in 1919, right before Yu Guan-su, stands up, young 16-year-old girl, and proclaims the nation of Korea for one day, right? And then we know that's upon that foundation, father could be conceived, right? So it's like I think about these people who gave their lives, for their nation, for the sake of something bigger that maybe they didn't even understand, so that I could be here, So that's my feeling when I think about, this Chambo providence, when I think about liberating and blessing my ancestors. It's like, this is my show of gratitude. And this is a way that we can, hopefully, really bring some comfort into, the hearts of those, who passed before us, who really gave their lives and their hopes and their dreams for the sake of this nation being able to stand up for each of us to be able to be victorious, right? And also, this is a chance for us to spiritually cleanse New England and the Northeast, right? We're going to welcome True Mother. Don't we want to be squeaky clean and shiny, right? Yeah, we want to, my daughter always goes, I brush my teeth. And my mom used to say, oh, shiny. So I always say that too, shiny. So you want to be shiny? Yeah. So Reverend Dunkley is really looking at this event as this is our, Foundation of Faith event. This is a way we're bringing spiritual victory before we welcome our True Mother. So we want to bring 30,000 to Newark. And so we want to bring 3,000 to be able to take part in this Chambo event. So please, I just encourage you, if you haven't registered yet, please, register and just come down. Even if you feel like, I did all my liberations or something like that, please consider that this is a show of our unity, right? All right, next, National Victory Fund. This is something that actually is so inspiring to me also, because even though it says national victory, right? It's actually, Milhan put it, this is America's destiny. We're looking beyond ourselves. That's where the real victory comes from. So 5 years ago, Dr. Kim, followed Mother's calling to not receive any more support from Japan or other outside funding so that we could be self-sustaining, right? So that we could actually take care of ourselves. So we could brush our teeth and wash our, wash our clothes and whatever, so that we could actually be responsible people. But not only that, it's like, what is the heart of a true filial child? It's not only that we take care of ourselves, but that we also can serve and love our brothers and sisters. And that's really America's role, right? So in this National Victory Fund, practically, we're being asked to donate or pledge to donate by the end of 2020, $5,000. You can donate anything you want, actually. It doesn't have to be $5,000. It could be $10,000. It could be less, right? But the point is that we want to raise $7 million. Why? We have 5 sub-regions, right? And each of these sub-regions have been hosting these rallies so that we can, again, bring the American people to experience our true parents. So this is, a way that we are working towards national restoration. So $1 million is going to each of those sub-regions for the sake of this providential rally effort, right? And then $2 million is going towards world missions. We know that Mother wants to start WCLC in America, which means that all the other countries are going to need some support. Don't you think so? They'll need some advice. Hey, you guys have been doing ACLC for so long. Over here in France, how do we start FCLC, right? We need your guidance. We need your resources, and don't we want to give that as American people? Yeah? Reverend Dunkley often says, do you think that America is really looked at as a charitable nation? Are we really? Do we really? Are we a generous people? Yeah. When we think about, the Japanese, our Japanese brothers and sisters, in Bridgeport, we've been welcoming, year after year now, this pilgrimage of second and third generation. And it's so meaningful for me to be able to tell those kids, because of what your parents did, Bridgeport is here, honestly. True parents suffered so much in Connecticut. Father was incarcerated in Danbury. But Bridgeport has been the light, to shine over all of that. Because of the University of Bridgeport, right? And then where did we get those funds to be able to save that university? And because we saved the university, 27,000 people graduated, Because we saved the university, the whole South End, has become a better place. It's just amazing to me. It's like, how much comfort the Japanese families, the brothers and sisters have been able to bring to our true parents' heart, because of their devotion. And, we need to be able to show up, right? We need to be able to really honor that sacrifice and be able to give back, right? It's actually such a small goal, but yet it's the biggest that America's ever been asked to raise, right? So anyway, I just want us to consider like how we can contribute. And it's very interesting because some young adults in Dallas were so moved by this, the National Victory Fund, that they have their own little jar, right? And they're slowly raising it. So it's not so much, brothers and sisters, it's not so much about, not having the means, because, if we have the rest of 2019, we have 2020 to be able to fulfill this goal. We can work with each other. We know how to fundraise, right? Yeah, we know how to fundraise, right? It's not so much about that. It's more, about being able to really make this as a legacy offering for the sake of America, concluding a 400-year providence and now beginning a new era as a restored nation. All right, so, okay. Yeah, one thing anyway, just in our own couple, we pledged. We've been giving less than $100 a month. We give $21 a month. And it's so interesting because Pam Stein, who's leading this on a national level, she told me, you just need to make the intention and then you need to see how God and Spirit World can help you. And within a week after we made that pledge, then I was in Shanghai receiving free money from China Eastern Airlines because they had canceled, our flight anyway. And here I was receiving over $100 in cash. And I was like, wow, this is going to the National Victory Fund, right? Yeah, miracles can happen if you just make the commitment. All right, finally, next. All right, and bringing 30,000 clergy. So Reverend Bomfo, I'm really so grateful to Reverend Bomfo. Actually, there are a certain number of you, and you'll never know, but you've had such a big impact on my life growing up and being here in New England. Yeah, such a big impact. Reverend Bonfo's always been one of those people too. So I called him up, knowing how busy he is, knowing how much he's invested in our ministers here in New England. But he right away came to New York City to be a part of this all-in leaders meeting, and he really got inspired, and he's working to help reconnect to those 12 who were part of the 172 clergy, who met directly with true parents, who were asked by true parents to fulfill their work, right? Some of them passed away in the spiritual world, but they can work from the spiritual world, right? Yeah, and so anyway, I'm so grateful Reverend Bonfo is standing up as our coordinator for our district. We're kind of in this place where it's like we're just poised and ready, guys. Right now, it's about unity, coming together in heart, you know. I like to plan. I'm a really big planner. I like to, know what's going on. But the point here is that in order to bring this victory, it takes more than just logistics, right? It's really about a unity of heart. So, and I also want to encourage you, this is the time to start reconnecting with the church, reconnecting with, those that we, met 10 years ago or so that we've lost touch with. And they remember us because there's something unique about us, right? And this is a chance for our young people too to have those kinds of experiences, in churches or in holy, spaces of representing other faiths, right? To have these kinds of experiences where we can learn from each other and we can see how deeply, we are so connected. We have more similarities than our differences. So I just want to encourage you. And Catherine is not going to push you, she told me, which is maybe a good thing. I don't know. She's waiting for you to take responsibility and to say, hey, you know what? I just want to report to you that I'm going to be going to this one church every so often, and let's see how it develops. And I'd be happy to take somebody with me for a Bible study or something like that, right? It takes all of us. It takes all of us to be able to make this happen. All right. So in closing, last slide. All right. Oh, actually, I want to say one thing about this picture. Reverend Bonfo mentioned, in looking at this picture, this is us. This is New England, right? If you look at the license plates on Massachusetts place, it says the Spirit of America, right? And so it really starts with tapping back into the Spirit of America. It starts with New England being shaken up, right? Showing up, right? It's hard to hear Reverend Dunkley say, it's only New Jersey, New York, or something like that. It's like, what about New England? He said, do you feel sad because I didn't mention New England? Yes. It's like, come on now. We're here. I feel a little bit like we've been a little bit of a sleeping giant, Now is the time for us to really, start to move. Because we know what we have to do, and we know that we have to do it together. So I just want to encourage us to think about, what is our contribution. So in closing, next slide. All right, let us be participants. Let us bring our offering to the offering table. And let us bear witness to the end of an incredible millennium of investment by our Heavenly Parent on the world stage so that we can begin a new era together with our True Mother and look to restoration at the world level. So we want to give our True Mother energy. She's already looking at 2028. Honestly, she's not worried about 2020, but now she needs energy, right? She needs strength. And, our True Mother deserves to be inspired, don't you think so? Of all the love and the investment that our true parents have given to this nation, it's like we should be the ones to be able to provide that comfort to our true parents. Please join me in a prayer. Good morning, our dearest, beloved Heavenly Parent, true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. We just want to greet you on this beautiful morning, September 22nd, 2019. Heavenly Parent, we have less than 100 days before we welcome our True Mother. And she's not stopping, and she's running, and she's moving. And I pray that we can also have that kind of fervor, Heavenly Parent. We want to show up for our True Mother, Heavenly Parent. We want to actually take her arm, take her hand, and lead her, Heavenly Parent, so that she can feel greatly comforted that all the investment, all the seeds that have been sown by our true Father in this great nation can be blooming and blossoming, and that this is really the time for harvest, that we can trust our True Mother's leadership, that we can be confident in what she is asking us to do. We can be confident in ourselves because we have so much power. We have so much potential, and yet we sometimes look around the room and think, well, somebody else can do it, Heavenly Parent. But actually, this is our calling, Heavenly Parent. This is our time. This is our chance to bring our offering, Heavenly Parent, to really think from a heart of Hyojung, Heavenly Parent, what would make our true parents happiest. It's very clear, Heavenly Parent. It's not like we have to guess, Heavenly Parent. We know what our true mother is asking us to do. We know the kind of commitment she's had and the resolve she's made over and over. We know how much she's earnestly wanting to secure this legacy of our true Father for the sake of the world, Heavenly Parent. And for your sake, Heavenly Parent, we want to bring you great comfort, Heavenly Parent. We want you to know that we love you dearly, Heavenly Parent. We want to take care of each of those 7.6 billion people of the world who are starving, Heavenly Parent, who are crying and really longing for your love, Heavenly Parent, and longing to know that there are parents on the earth and that they're living in such an incredible time as this, Heavenly Parent. We want to offer everything to you and in gratitude and in joy, Heavenly Parent. We offer this morning up to you, all those who came here this morning. Thank you so much. I pray that they can really feel blessed today. And for those brothers and sisters who couldn't make it today, or maybe who feel a little bit, a little bit depleted, Heavenly Parent, that we can come in and really share your love with them, Heavenly Parent, that we can encourage them, take their hand and walk together as we go towards this victory line, Heavenly Parent. We're all in and we're all for the win for you, God. So we just want to offer this, upholding the names of our true parents and the names of Abraham and Mika Deshotel of the Blessed Central Family, Aju. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that message. It really showed how things are moving. And if you want to keep up to date with what your mother's doing during this world tour, I'd encourage you to watch HJ Global News, which can be found on Eyepiece TV, or if you're local in Boston, it's always on the newsletter. And it's really inspiring and amazing to see all these things. And of course, offering, like Mika said, comes in many forms. And of course, the form that your father encouraged the most was tithing. Yay! So as you prepare your offering, one person who's not in the church, of course, that shows what victory is and wins a lot is Tom Brady. And how does he get all this victory? Is he just is he just good? He has mind-body unity. That's how it works. That's how you gain victory. Your father always talked about how if you have mind-body unity, you can achieve anything. And an example of this is, of course, Tom Brady, and he will be on display in the function room at 1 o'clock for the Patriots game today. So if you like football, you can come downstairs in the function room and watch the Patriots game. So now we will have our local announcements. So Prietos, you could pass the baskets around.
So we're going to do our offering song, and then we'll do announcements. This is I Saw the Light. Please sing along.
I feel with sin. I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night.
like a blind man, I wandered along. Worries and fear I claimed for my own. Then like the blind man that God gave us tonight, praise the Lord, I saw the light, I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I was a fool to wander and stray, for straight gates and narrow the way. Now I have traded the wrong for the right. Praise the Lord, I saw the light, I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, so sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light, the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, sorrow inside. Praise the
Now we will have our announcements. Please stand for our final song. We're going to say Move Forward. Sing along if you know it.
Move forward.
Keep going, we got a long, long way to go. We must have faith, we must be strong. We got a long, long way to go. Heavenly Father, please help us all you can. We need your truth, we need your love, we need your guiding hand. So move forward, keep going. We got a long, long way to go. We must have faith, we must be strong. We got a long, long way to go. Be humble, be gentle, be steady, warm and kind. Above all else, sincerity must guide us from inside. So move forward, keep going. We got a long, long way to go. We must have faith, we must be strong. We got a long, long way to go. There is purpose, there is meaning, there is value in our life. The perfect world, without all strife, is the goal of all mankind. So move forward, keep going. We got a long, long way to go. We must have faith, we must be strong. We got a long, long way to go.
One more time. So
Move forward, keep going. We got a long, long way to go. We must have strong. We got a long, long way to go.
Before we go to lunch, I have one question. Will we achieve victory? Will we achieve victory? One more time. Will you achieve victory? All right. In order to achieve victory, we need lunch. So let's go downstairs.